Hello everybody, hi, it's Yvonne here, and we are now live in the group. And the title of this talk today, this conversation today, get rid of these pop-ups from Facebook. The title of this conversation today is how to manage your time and prevent burnout. And if you're a new owner or you haven't yet started, you might be thinking, well, that won't happen to me. I'm gonna do it right from the get-go. And if you're an established owner, then you're probably already aware of some of these things. But I'm gonna hopefully enlighten you and inspire you to do a bit more to protect yourself and to enjoy your business more, and to enjoy your guests more, and enjoy your life more. So let me see what notes I've made here. If you're joining me live, make sure that you're saying hi in the comments. Let me know where you're from, where you're joining from. And if you're watching the replay, do hashtag replay so I can come and say hello to you afterwards. Okay, so let's get started. So, how to manage your time and avoid burnout. And this is a conversation I want to have with you, right? It's not just about me talking to the screen here. It's about us having an engaged conversation about this. So last weekend, I went away for the weekend and I went on a yoga retreat, and I love yoga, and I go to at least 2 classes every week early in the mornings, and it sets me up for the day, helps to regulate and calm down my nervous system and keeps my body fit and flexible. And I especially like, that meditative state that you can get into with the deep breathing. If you do yoga, you know what I'm talking about. These things are really important to me. They really matter to me. But today's conversation isn't about yoga, although I love talking about yoga. But while I was away on the retreat, I was struck by how difficult it can be for almost all of us to do nothing, to do literally nothing, because we kind of get so hung up on accomplishing things and forget about just kind of being in the moment. So I started doing yoga late in 2012 when I was busy running my B&B, and sometimes it was difficult to get to the classes because of guests. But after a while, I began to prioritize it. So on the mornings that I had a yoga class, I would ask my husband to do the breakfast or close off the rooms so that I could go to my classes. And this was a heck of a journey for me, because at the time, I told myself I needed the money too much to close off the rooms. I thought that my guests always needed me to do the breakfast for them. I thought no one else can do it. But during the summer of 2012, I worked every day in my B&B for 6 weeks straight with no days off. And at the end of that exhausting period, I vowed that I would never do that to myself again. Burnout is very real in this industry, so I wanted to offer some of my own experience to help you avoid it, or if you're experiencing it right now, what you can do about it. So one of the first things that we do with our clients when we start working with them is to examine their pricing, which is usually too low. And the second thing is their daily schedule, so they can incorporate some downtime every day, every week, every month, and at least one proper vacation each year. And what I'm going to say next might sound a bit weird to you, but the bottom line is that in order to avoid burnout, you must put a limit on the amount of time that you spend with your guests. So that may have triggered you a little bit, and you might be thinking, but I love my guests and I love being with them. I get that. And too many owners that I've seen use their business as a substitute for their social life, and the whole thing becomes their whole life. I know this because I did it myself. It was like an avoidance strategy, if you like, so I didn't have any time to devote to my failing marriage at the time, and the business and the guests seemed to be way more important to me at the time. During my work with owners worldwide, I've seen it over and over. I've seen this happen over and over. So let me know in the comments so far if you can relate to anything about what I'm saying here. Let me come and see what you're saying. Okay, so here we go. Okay, Alexandra, hello, thanks for joining me. What happened to the acupuncture and the shopping today? Okay, if it is a bit choppy, it might just be your internet. It could be all manner of things, so we can't really do much about that. So hopefully it'll look better on the replay. So let me know if you can relate to any of this. Sometimes I've seen owners put things on their websites like come as guests, come as strangers, leave as friends. If you do this, you won't really have any real relationships in your life because your guests are not your friends and they're not your family. They're paying guests, and the relationship that you have with them is of a commercial nature because it has to be, right? Because it's business. And so therefore it's fleeting. When you go to the shop, for example, you have a conversation with the shopkeeper. You might be there for 10, 15 minutes. But unless you know that shopkeeper in another capacity, then they don't become your friend just with a fleeting conversation like that. Friendships go much deeper. And without any kind of other real relationships in your life, you'll become lost and miserable, and you'll also burn out. And here's why I think this is the case. If you constantly work hard to please your guests without any thought for yourself and your own well-being, it's like begging for love. And the more you beg, the less you'll find. Love is like a mutual thing between people who want the same thing, whether that's romantic love, family love, friendship love, or any kind of love, even love with your pets. It has no commercial element to it, right? It's completely devoid of commercial element. It's mutually agreed upon. So maybe in your pursuit of financial security, success in your business, whatever that looks like to you, you've let some of your more important relationships lapse. Maybe you've thought that in the past that real relationships are way too difficult to handle, and so it feels easier to have fleeting ones with guests. Maybe you've had bad experiences with so-called real relationships, and let's face it, who hasn't? Being at the constant beck and call of your guests and not restricting your time with them, or feeling like you have to respond to their every whim, will turn you into a kind of what we call a prostitute, which your guests will feel from you. Because essentially you're trying to get love from them in the inappropriate place. And all your vain pursuit in all of your vain pursuit of love from your guests, it will result in exactly the opposite. Bad reviews, guests misbehaving, your boundaries are loose, you're not enforcing your boundaries or your cancellation policy because you're afraid of losing love. And guests will feel that, and it will not go well for you. I'm speaking from experience. So in order to, let me see what the comments are saying before I go on to the next point. Okay, so the comments are taking a while to come through, so I'll just carry on with this conversation and we can continue it after the broadcast. So in order to avoid burnout, you'll need to plan your time so that all of the elements of what makes life enjoyable for you as a human are included, especially those elements outside of your business. here's some questions for you. When was the last time you got away from your business and allowed yourself to let go of it for a while? When was the last time you planned something nice for yourself and your significant other, if you have one, that just involved you or you two? How could you begin to make a daily, weekly, or even a monthly schedule for yourself that allows you the time and energy to ensure that your important relationships are properly taken care of and nurtured? Here's some questions to ponder around this. What happens? Ask yourself these questions. What happens when I wake up in the morning? Do I feel rested and ready for my day? Do I have like a morning routine that I go through, like me with my yoga, or just some breathing exercises, or just sit quietly and let your nervous system settle? Or do you feel immediately stressed around things that need to be done? Need to get up, need to get up, need to get on, need to get on. Are you doing that? Ask yourself, am I organized enough to enjoy the busy breakfast schedule with the guests and dedicate this time to my guests, to be totally present for them without thinking about what else needs doing? And when they've checked out, is it one mad dash to turn over the rooms and get ready for the next guest, or can I turn those tasks over to someone else while I turn my attention to marketing work, answering inquiries, giving that block of time to work on my business rather than working in it all the time? Another question: do I sit down to eat a healthy lunch, or am I just grabbing whatever's available in the fridge to eat on the go? When check-in time comes around, am I mentally prepared for the new arrivals, ready and refreshed to dedicate the next block of time to them specifically? How early are you getting to bed? What's the quality of your sleep like? Are you on medications or painkillers that you'd just rather not be on? This business is incredibly stressful and busy. There's no doubt about it. In fact, any business that deals with members of the public comes with a fair degree of stress. But at the same time, this business needs us to be fully at our best for our guests so that we can deliver the amazing experience that they're expecting and that you've promised them on some level, as well as taking good care of ourselves. Try to make sure that you've got the balance right. And if you haven't, then what needs to change for you right now? Checking the comments. Still nothing coming through, except for the lovely Alexandra. Okay. So, without your interaction, this is quite a short conversation, so I'd love to know what you think if you watch this on the replay. Unfortunately, Facebook wouldn't allow me to publicize this event in the group, so probably you weren't even aware that I was going to do this live conversation today, but that's okay. You know, you'll see it later in the group, and I will come and answer your questions when you post them after the event. But I want to leave you with this, okay? Do you need to slow down a little? Remember that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. It's like you have to slow down to speed up. So, if you'd like to have more conversations like this, as well as all the tools and strategies that you'll ever need to start, run and grow your B&B business on your terms, then we have 2 spots in our B&B Moneymaker program right now. Drop me a yes please in the comments if you'd like to find out more about how we might be able to work together. And what other topics would you like me to talk about with you? Let me know that too in the comments below. So I'll leave you with those questions. Think about it. Think about what needs to change in order for me to take better care of myself, because In this business, you are the most important person, not your guests. You are the person that needs taking care of the most by you. So that's all for today. I can't see any comments. Facebook is not playing ball. So I will, as I say, come back and answer them in a moment, and leave me your comments below, and I will talk to you very soon. Hope this has been helpful for you. Bye for now.